Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to FTB Interactions. So, it's been a little while since the last episode. I did have a couple deaths, and funnily enough, they were my fault, but they weren't exactly my fault. Both of them were related to video production, basically. One of them, a skeleton snuck up on me, and I was in another tab. I was editing footage, and I was working in the garden. And then the other one was while I was rendering footage, I saw this zombie coming, and I tried to back away. But when I'm rendering and playing at the same time, normally I'm mine stone or do something like that, like over at the other base. I wasn't. I was actually trying to work in the garden and move some apiaries over. And my FPS, I'll get like 10-second lag spikes, and then I just came back from a lag spike dead, so. Kind of my fault for doing what I was doing at the time, but yeah. So I'm up to 12 deaths. But so anyways, we did get a raw jellyfish. So yay! Because I made these water traps, and these are, they're pretty much just like the ground traps, except they go in the water, and you put in fish bait. And it actually took a little while. I've actually got a bunch of fish in the fridge. Jellyfish took me a while to get, in fact. But I actually think if we take this and we craft it, and we get our slime ball, I think that's actually going to count for this. It is. So we can go ahead and complete that. But of course, once again, if we want to make these things, just put the correct aspects in there and so on. Okay, now we need to craft string, which we've already got. We need to get clay, cobwebs, and lava buckets. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's start with the... Well, let's start with clay. I think we can actually just craft a clay block, right? And then uncraft the clay block, and it'll count. Because if we can get by without having to actually do these things, then that's okay by me. And that, yeah, that counted. Basically, if it comes out of crafting grid, it counts. Okay, now cobwebs. We'll probably just... Yeah, we'll probably just craft these. I think we've actually got a couple of them. Yeah, see, I've got cobwebs. So I'm just going to grab 2 of those. And then the lava buckets. Oh, let's see. We can... No, it doesn't tell us in here. Let's see. Lava buckets. A bucket, 15 Ignis, and 5 Terra will get us a lava bucket. Okay. So what we can do for that is we can just grab ourselves some coal. Yeah, we'll just take both of those. And then we should be able to take just cobblestone or sand or something. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. And we'll take our bucket with us. Okay, and let's go ahead and pop on over. And you can see I've been digging stuff out. This little area, which this is actually, it's just kind of a rough thing. And then this is all stone, and then I brought some stone over and made X-tone tiles and all that stuff. But anyways, if we pop on through, we can get this part. This part's a bit easier. We can knock through this pretty quick. Okay, so let's grab that. I'm going to go ahead and grab another bucket as well. And we're going to wait for this to start bubbling. There we go. And we're going to throw in a cobweb, and then throw in another cobweb. And, okay, that didn't seem to work. Okay, wait a second. What was cobweb again? Oh, it was string. Okay, my bad. Take string and then 5 vinculum. Okay, I'll get that in a second then. Okay, but we're going to take coal, sand, and then our bucket. And there we go. And then we'll dump that right there. Okay, and then we'll throw that in there. And then a piece of string. And there we go. We get a cobweb, and we can complete that. There we go. Okay, hedge alchemy is now done. Liquid death, we're going to need a theory in alchemy. This, we're going to need a theory in fundamentals. So that means we're actually going to have to get into theories and how those work. Okay, so let's pop back home. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make ourselves a research table. And there's actually a page here on theory crafting. We need to get a research table and scribing tools. So let's go ahead, and I believe the research table is we need to make a table and then put the scribing tools on top of it. Okay, so let's see. the table that we need is the wood table, which is going to take infused wood. Okay, so we're going to have to get ourselves a light well. And to do this, we're going to need a rock crystal of some kind, an iron plate, a basic lens. Okay. Alright, so let's pop over here. I'm going to have to get some iron cooking up because I actually don't have much. I've been using most of my iron for repairing my pickaxe. It's like always something, I swear. I don't think that we can use a stone table. I guess we could try it. But I'm fairly certain that we can't. Okay, and since it's night, I need to walk around with this resonating wand and see... There we go, actually. Right up there is what I'm looking for. So where these like sparkles are coming up, that means that there is a rock crystal down below, somewhere down here. And it's going to be down around bedrock. So I'm just going to go all the way down. Okay, I have finally reached the bottom of this pit. And there's rock crystal ore down here. So let's go ahead and grab that. And we're going to get a quest complete. I'm actually not sure what I did with my book. So I'm going to go ahead and set that to my Naga. Okay, and magic stick. There we go. There's a rock crystal ore quest. So we've done that. And then there's a quest here for getting rock crystal. So we'll get that here in just a second. Just not sure if there's going to be some chain of things we have to do. I'm just going to mine around and look to see if there's maybe any more of them. I'm not really seeing any of them. So I'm going to assume it was just the one that was down here. Looks like it. Okay, so the best way to break this down, I'm sure we could probably just use just a standard pick. Yeah, looks like just a pick will be fine. Which we don't have lapis at the moment, so... I wonder if you can use a GregTech hammer for this. I'm actually not sure. I'm going to go ahead, though, and block off this so that I don't step into that on accident, because that's like instant death hole right there. Okay, so let's take our rock crystal ore. We'll throw that down. Let me go sell this, that and that. Grab our GregTech hammer. Let's try this. Okay, well, we got 2. And we got a quest complete. Awesome. And let's see, we have a 52% purity and a 40% purity. So we're going to use this one here, I think, instead of our better one. Even though both of them are kind of dinky at the moment. That's okay. I need to get all this stuff sorted. That's on my priority list, I promise. Okay, so our light well. Now we just need all easy stuff. Okay. So let me get those. Then we need 3 runed marble and a chiseled marble. Or 2 chiseled marble, sorry. And we do get a reward for that quest too. I guess I should go ahead and turn that in. We get 2 ender shards. So we'll put those to use later on. I don't need them right this second, but technically you could mark places and then you could switch out your stuff. Your crystals whenever you want to teleport somewhere new, if you wanted to. Okay, so there is our basic lens. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And I think that's everything that we're going to need. Now I am going to have to turn these into plates. Let me go ahead and do that. But that's one thing I've been digging out for is our actual storage room. And then we'll start working on storage here fairly soon. So I promise that's like top of my priority list. So okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead, get this thing crafting. It's probably going to take a second, but probably not too long. And then, of course, we can put rock crystals, aquamarine, celestial rock crystals, the advanced aquamarine, and then you can have them, like, connected to a certain constellation. You know, there's all different kinds of things that you can do. But for right now, what we're going to be doing is just aquamarine. I'm going to grab just, like, I don't know, 4 of those. That should be fine. And actually, I'm probably just going to set this up on top of our astral temple. And running this at night is the better choice. But I'm probably just going to go ahead and get it started, because I just need a bucket to kind of get started with. So let's go ahead and drop that there. And we'll go ahead and throw in an aquamarine. It's going to start running, and we are going to have to wait for a bucket of liquid Starlight. And aside from that, the table is fairly easy. If we take a look here, let's see, we're going to need 3 great wood slabs, and we're going to need 4 infused wood. Crafted in world by dropping into liquid Starlight. Okay, I think we've got a bucket in here. Yes, we do. Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead, take this over here. And there's one other thing I want to do just really, really quickly. And let me pop over here real quick while we're doing this stuff. Something I should have done a while back. Just haven't gotten around to it. Where did my chisel go? Or my other chisel? I don't know. Anyways, let's get ourselves a pickaxe head cast. And I should actually probably do this for the pick, or for the sword too, I imagine. But let's go ahead and get some bronze smelting down. And I want to make a bronze pick. That's 2 ingots to make that. Okay. I want to go ahead and upgrade. Why do I have weakness 2 and slowness 2? Maybe it has to do with carrying this liquid Starlight. I don't know. But anyways, let's pop over here. We're just going to dump this in. Yeah, carrying liquid Starlight gives it to you. Interesting. And then we should be able to take our planks. Let's see, it's not wood, is it? Okay, it's wood. Okay, so we're going to get 4 of those. Dump that to there. And then let's see, the table, it was this form, right? Yeah, infused wood. Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead and drop that, drop that. There we go. There's a wood table. And then we'll just set this thing down right there. And then we need to get ourselves some scribing tools. These right here. So we're going to need a glass vial or a bottle. And I think bottles are cheaper, yeah. And then a feather and then just ink. Okay, so I'm just going to drink one of these. And we'll go ahead and get our scribing tools. Okay, and then we can just right click. And there we go. Now we have our research table. Okay, so now what I need is a bunch of paper. And I can't remember if paper is different in this pack. Yeah, we need sugarcane like that. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a bunch of this. And the hammer. There we go. There's 21 paper. That'll get us started. And so what we'll do is we'll come over here and let's see, the thing that I actually need, we can complete this too. And then it talks about how to do it. I'm not going to read through all of that. Celestial observation, we can go ahead and turn that in. That's about moon phases. Not going to worry about covering that right this second. These, I guess we'd go ahead and turn some of these in. So there's infusion. There's artifice. This one we have to go to the lowest depths and the highest peaks of the world. So we won't do that one just yet. Okay, so back to alchemy. For this, we're going to need 1 theory on fundamentals. And then over here, we need a theory in alchemy. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm not going to do all of these. I'm not going to do all my research on camera, of course, but we'll do a little bit right now. We can select, like this one, I can't remember what all the effects do. I talked about them all in Enigmatica, and we'll figure them out as we go through. This one, I think, does the fundamentals, I believe. Like this theory fundamentals, I think it causes that to proc a bit more. Let's go ahead and select that. And we're going to do create theory. And we're going to go ahead and pick a paper. Okay, so you take some time to properly calibrate your instruments and tools, gain 15 artifice and a bonus draw. Or you carefully examine and take apart some basic components in the hopes of finding new ways to assemble them, gain 17 artifice. For this, we would need a dropper, and it would be consumed. I'm just going to take the calibrate. And you can see we got a bonus draw this time. You can see there's 15 artifice. That means we're 15% of a point for artifice. Once again, the book talks about all of this stuff, so, you know, So if you're interested, there's measure gives us 15 infusion progression or progress and 1 bonus draw. There's some more artifice. I'm going to take this infusion because it doesn't take anything. Starting out, it's really nice to take things that don't take anything. There's artifice and a bonus draw. Let's see, for this one, I don't have a whole lot of points, and I'm actually not after artifice or arcane infusion, so I'm going to take universal theory, which takes all my totals and adds them together and then splits them evenly between all my things, which right now, I mean, I'm pretty much neck and neck on artifice and arcane infusion. But then an additional category will gain the full bonus upon completion. So we'll go ahead and take that. Fundamentals, awesome. Okay, and then we have Tinker, which is artifice, or we need a dispenser for artifice. Okay, I don't know. I'm either going to need a sticky piston, which isn't going to be consumed, or a dispenser, which will be consumed. I'm probably going to go with the sticky piston, because that's very, very doable. But we're going to move kind of quick through the research. Like I said, if you need to know more about research, back on the Enigmatica series, I covered it very, very in depth. Spent quite a few episodes. Well, not just on research, but I did cover it very, very in depth. But the book also covers it very in depth. So, okay, let's get ourselves a rice slime ball. Now let's make ourselves a sticky piston. Okay, so now I can go turn this research in. We're going to take this Tinker. And then next up we have, there's free 15 artifice and a bonus draw, or this for permutation. We're not going to get into that right now. So we're just going to take the calibrate. And then there's 15 infusion, split it, or, yeah, I'm going to take the split it. We'll go ahead and just split it up. So we get more points in fundamentals. Okay, so we're going to complete theory. And there we go. And now if we take a look here inside of this, if we click, or no, it's if we click right here, knowledge totals, you could see here's our theories, and you can see our percentages there, that little bar that's filling up. So we got a decent amount towards fundamentals. Sometimes this can take a while. So I'm going to, let's do another one to create theory. Activator rail. What's that take? Iron, redstone, torch, and sticks. Okay, not really ideal, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. But basically, you're just playing like a little mini game. Try to get your points as high as you can. If you don't get a full point, that's fine. It does carry over as long as you finish the research. If I was to go down here and say, okay, I don't want to do any of this, let me just scrap this theory and start all over, I don't get any progress on anything. So just bear that in mind. All right, we're going to take that. And you can see it did consume an activator rail from there. Inspired by the progress you have made so far, your mind explores paths you have not considered before. You gain 17 artifice, or we can get 15 in a bonus draw. Let's take the 15 in a bonus draw. Bonus draws are nice, usually. Ponder, Tinker. Yeah, I'm going to take Ponder. That's 25. Split between all my categories, and then we also got fundamentals added to that, which is good. 15 to 30 progress in a completely random category. Sounds good. And we got a little bit of fundamentals, aromancy. Sounds good. Okay, let's do another theory without the table there. And basically those bonuses are just things that are nearby, by the way. So like the arcane workbench is within range. I think it's like 5 blocks for the research table. So it does give it a bonus, or I can use it as a bonus. Experimentation, let's go ahead and start off with that. So we got rustic thaumaturgy and fundamentals. We can reject rustic thaumaturgy, which means that we just won't get any more, you won't gain any more progress in it or draw any cards related to it. But we will still keep the 22%. I'm going to take the measure, which is infusion and a bonus draw. Infusion and bonus draw. I'm going to take experimentation. Okay, we got a little bit of fundamentals. Awesome. And then we got measure, that's more infusion. And then we'll take calibrate. Okay, we'll complete that theory. Did we ever finish any points? No, but we're very close to finishing a point in artifice, and we're a decent ways to fundamentals. You can see where we're going to go through a lot of paper with this. And actually, I want to say, let me get some leather. I want to say I'm wanting to say a bookcase gives you the fundamentals bonus, I think. We'll go ahead and try this. There's a bookshelf. And let's go ahead and just drop this right there. Yeah, there's a bookshelf. Okay, so we're going to create a theory using that. And I believe this is going to give us more fundamentals. Yeah, 15 to 25 progress in fundamentals. Awesome. Next up, I guess we're going to take reject fundamental. So we got 25%, but we're not going to get anything else on that. We'll go ahead and take artifice. There's a little bit of infusion. We're going to try to stick with stuff that's free. There we go. Okay, so we just got a point in artifice. And it does get a whole lot easier as time goes on. Once you have access to like all these different things, it does get a whole lot easier. Experiment with converting essentia into energy similar to your current matter energy network. Gain 10 to 25 energistics. Let's go ahead and take that, because that'll come in useful later. Okay, there's fundamentals. We'll go ahead and take ponder, which is going to give us some more to everything. Chances are we'll finish out fundamental this time. Okay. There we go. There's fundamentals and a point in infusion. Okay, so we are done with that for right now. So now we can open this up and complete that. There we go. So now we know how to make the Everfull urn. It's 30 aqua, 10 fabrico, and 10 terra with a flower pot. Awesome. Okay, so now this long little string of thaumcraft is now done. Let's go ahead and make ourselves... I think I'm going to make 2 of these for right now. Which I can do these in... Now, I got to make a mold, though. Let's go ahead and do that. I've been wanting to make one of these anyways, so let's grab our knife. What we're going to do is we're going to take a slab, put it in here, and we're going to get some wooden forms. And then we can take our wooden forms, and I wonder if you can actually make these. Yes. Okay, we're going to get a brick wooden form. Of course, if you're smelting in the kiln, you can just smelt away. But I like using the furnace, so I might as well go ahead and just make... let's just make a stack of these, because we're going to need bricks here soon enough. So that, and we get unfired clay bricks. We're going to need a fuel source, which I'm just using planks because they're free. There we go. We'll get that smelting up. And then we've got to find a good source of aqua and fabrico. Aqua, fabrico, and terra. Okay. And since we're not really worried about spillover, let's see. Sponges actually probably have aqua. No, they have terra. But wet sponges have aqua. Okay, so we need 30 aqua. Yeah, I'm just going to go... I mean, I could use the Aqua V crystals, but I'm just going to go with 6 wet sponges for each of these. And that's going to take care of the aqua and the terra. I mean, I'm going to have a ton of spillover. That's fine. And then I'm also going to need the fabrico, and we need 10 fabrico each. White wool actually has 5 each. So I think that's what I'm going to go with, is just wool. Oh yeah, and this pick is probably done by now. Let's go ahead and grab that. I think we're going to have full durability, though. No, we don't. Okay, so there's a bronze pickaxe. And you can see it's got 705 durability instead of 479, which is good. It's got better mining speed. And, yeah. And it's also got dents. Your tool lasts longer when it has less durability, which is useful. We'll go ahead and upgrade that. And I think I'm probably going to take the sword as well. Its attack is 3.5. Actually might be worse than the iron sword. Yeah, iron sword's 4. Okay, so we're going to stick with the iron sword. We need to make the upgrade, though, to Greg Tech stuff before long. We're going to have to be getting sheep here soon, because whenever we start into LV, we're going to need a lot of wool. Like a whole bunch of wool. Okay, so there's our flower pots. And let's go ahead and warp home. All right, so let's go ahead. Okay, so we're going to need 6 wet sponges. We're going to need 2 wool for each of these. Right? Yes. We're about to dump a whole lot of flux into the world. So, exciting stuff. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll drop our wet sponges, our wool, our flower pot. There we go, Everfull urn. And then we'll go ahead... Whoops, no, that's not what I meant to do. We'll go ahead and release all that flux right up into the world. But that's okay. That's why we're on a sky block, because it doesn't really matter if we turn this place bad. We can always just make another sky block and do it again. Okay, so we got bubbles. Let's do this again. That, and there we go. Ever full iron. This is why I suggest you do it in your sky block or away from your base or whatever. So that way you don't have to worry about it too much. Okay, so we got 2 of those. Awesome. Now it's time to start into steam-based power. And I'll explain why we wanted those here in just a minute. Okay, so now, now the moment of truth has come. What we're going to do in our quest to begin actual machines, it's been a long time coming, we're going to start into steam power. Then there's a couple different options here. We can get into lava boilers, or there's coal boilers. We're going to start into coal boilers. This is where we're going to need the bricks. That's why I made extra. Let's go ahead. We're going to need... I'm actually probably going to go ahead and just start with 2 of these to get started. Though, really, I could push on to the forge hammer and grab these. Let's do that. There's 6 bricks. That's plenty. And let's grab our bronze. I'm actually just going to go ahead and make 2. I'm not too worried about efficiency and getting the maximum. You could do this with just 1 boiler if you wanted to. Let's go ahead and do this. And we're going to get... let's see, the forge hammer. Okay, the forge hammer is going to require a few more things. We're going to need 6 bronze. 6, 12... 18. Okay, let's go ahead and just make, let's make all of these. It's going to be about what we need. So, there's that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to craft ourselves 2 small steam coal boilers. I'm not sure what the larger... See, this one makes 150 millibuckets of steam in 10 ticks. This one makes it in 25 ticks. But I think to get this, we got to get steel. Okay, so we're just going to start with the small steam coal boiler. There we go. We got a quest complete. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we got those, and then I'm going to need pipes. I'm going to need a forge hammer. Let's see, that moves 70 per tick. Well, okay. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to need 2 brass plates for this. And this is going to make making plates a little bit more efficient once we get this. Because we're going to get 2 for 3 ingots instead of 2 for 4 ingots. So, there's that. And then we'll get our hull. And then we'll get our pipes. I'm going to have to make a file for this, which is just plates and a stick. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and just make it out of bronze for right now. That'll be fine. So we're going to make a bronze file. It's got 1920 on durability, which isn't too bad. Okay, and then it's going to be that. And I'm definitely going to have to make more. But there's our first small bronze pipes. I'm actually going to need at least 1 more craft just to get the forge hammer. But I have some more bronze here. So let's go ahead and just make as many of these as we can. There we go. And there we go. And then the pipes, I think we can make the medium-sized ones too. We can. If we reverse the tools, we get medium ones. And I actually think I'm going to go ahead and just shoot for the medium ones for our needs. So I'm just going to get 2 of those. Okay. And that's all we're going to get for right this second. Okay, so the forge hammer. To make this, we're going to need the hull. We're going to need small bronze pipes. And then we're going to need a piston or sticky piston on top. I'm just going to use that sticky piston that we made for the research. Then I'll have some small bronze pipes to work with. And then I need an anvil, which I've actually got 1 block of iron already. So let me go ahead and get that. And get that going, and we'll be able to make a macerator here very, very soon as well. Okay, so we're waiting for that to get done running. While we're waiting, let's go ahead and pop on over. Because Because we can go ahead and get this stuff set up. So the steam boilers, what I'm thinking for right now is we're going to set up one right here and one right there. And then we're going to put our ever full urns like right back there. And I didn't check to see how much aura was in this chunk. I need to do that. But you can see there's like some particle effects coming out, and these are starting to fill up with water. Looks like they're both focusing on this one instead of sending any to that one. But once this gets built up, it's going to be able to keep them both filled. These don't consume water very fast. So that should be fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to attach medium bronze pipe right there. Bring that down. And then I guess for right now we're going to use our small bronze pipes until we can afford more medium ones. And so what we'll do is we'll just bring this out. Oh, they won't connect. Okay. Okay, so I'm actually going to have to get more... I have to get more medium bronze pipes. That's fine. And I'll tell you what, while I'm making this stuff, I really need... Oops. I really need to go ahead and make a tool forge. So I'm going to get some additional iron smelting up. Okay, but our anvil is done. Well, everything for the anvil. So we'll go ahead and get that. And then drop that into there. There we go. There's the Steam Forge Hammer. And we're completing quests from somewheres about... Oh, and we got a trophy here. The Small Steam Coal Boiler. At last, no more hammering plates together. Let's go ahead and grab that. And we shall set this up right there. And that is accurate. Steamplosion. Never let your boilers run dry. Putting water in a dry, hot boiler will cause an explosion. We'll go ahead and check mark that. Pick a machine, any machine. You can now pickaxe any machine safely. Seriously, try it out. Go ahead, we dare you. Also, machines work just fine in the rain. Go ahead, try it out. We dare you. However, thermal expansion drills, AoE, will destroy machines. Okay. Go ahead and check mark that. Welcome Ohm. Unlike most Forge energy systems, which only really care about voltage, GregTech also introduces amperage. Every GregTech machine recipe has a voltage and an amperage. Make sure to always double check JEI what the voltage amperage requirements are. That'll be more important later on. Vanilla or chocolat. For example, look at the recipe for a Tinker's copper hammerhead and an extruder. Since it requires at minimum 120 EU per tick, an LV extruder cannot handle that much power at 1 amp. So that recipe is effectively gated behind MV level extruders. And then, oh my god, Becky, look at her watt. Okay, there's nothing in there. So, and then there's a quest here to get a bucket of steam to finish out that quest. Then we need to make a wrench, which isn't actually required for the quest, just a check mark quest, but I do need to make one of these, which are just ingots like that. Okay, I need to make more bronze, basically. And let's see, the Macerator, it's going to be one of the next things we go for. I'm going to go ahead and make a couple pistons, in fact, because we're going to need them here very, very soon. There we go, medium bronze pipes. Okay, and now we should be good. Let's go ahead and warp back home. Or warp back over here, I mean. And we're going to go ahead and set up our forge hammer. And we're going to have this setting right. Well, let's go ahead and run this pipe over. And you can see this is filled with water. This is filled with water. And, oh, it's actually filling these with water. No. What's the range on these Everfull urns? Okay, it seems like this one's not affecting it. Okay, but that one is. Okay, so if I set the Everfull urns up over here, like in these back corners, they'll be able to hit the steam boilers, but not hit the bronze pipes. Okay, so we'll just run that out like that. We'll set up our pipes are basically just going to run out like this. Kind of just run behind all this stuff. No. I may actually have to set these back by one. There we go. Now, whenever I get, like, over here, it's possible it might try to. But I don't know. I don't know. It might not. So I think that was... I don't know. We'll see. So anyways, we can set up our forge hammer, like, right there. And I'm going to get a wrench here in a second. We're going to change this up just slightly. But now what we need to do, we need to get some form of combustible, basically. And let's see, I'd really like to get a macerator, but I don't think I'm going to have the bronze at the moment to get a macerator. Yeah, actually, I think I will. Okay, for the macerator, let's see. I know I'm going to need some more small pipes. So there we go. Technically, I don't have to craft these like that. I really probably shouldn't have, but that's okay. I don't mind. Let's see. That's why we got the forge hammer first. So all we really need for the macerator at this point is this, the bronze hull. So we're going to need 6 bronze plates and 2 brass plates. Let's do this the correct way, which is actually going to take a second. Let's see, low-grade charcoal. I need to actually smelt up a bunch of this. So let me grab like a stack of wood. I'm just going to go ahead and get this stuff running, making some more low-grade charcoal. Because this stuff actually will be pretty decent for starting out. I guess I should have been mass-producing this stuff earlier on, but I wasn't. I'm actually going to pull up a bit of this wood because it likes to catch everything on fire, which is no fun. If you were on the stream, you know that. You know that already. But I'm going to kind of pull that up for just a minute. We're actually going to be getting rid of those, or moving those down there. That's something I need to do, but yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop over. We're going to get our steam boilers running. And there's that. It's going to start cooking. There's that. It's going to start cooking. It's going to basically heat this up. And then once it heats up and it starts producing steam, this little red bar here is going to start filling up, right? And then it's going to get hot enough, and then it's going to start turning this water into steam. And that steam is going to get transferred over to our forge hammer, is the basic idea. Then once it goes here, it's going to start making bronze ingots, and then we'll make brass ingots. So, which we will add some automation stuff to this. I'm actually going to, while that's running, because it's going to take a minute before that, before it starts actually making steam. And that is chunk loaded, so we should be a-okay. But let's pop over here, and I've got one chest on me. I want to make a Whopper, or 2 Whoppers, actually, because we're going to fill these up with combustible things, which I want to say somebody said that there's a bug with the pack where if you add combustibles to a steam boiler whenever it's dry, like it's supposed to explode whenever there's no water and you add water in it, but there's supposedly a bug where it explodes, I think, whenever you just add it in, just like if I was to add more charcoal to one that didn't have any charcoal in it, it would explode or something, which sounds terrible. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get ourselves a couple Whopper Mark IIs. And, oh yeah, I need to get the wrench as well. So let me grab, nope. This, I'm going to need 6. And it's like that. And then the hammer. Yeah. Okay, so there's our wrench. And we'll just go ahead and pop on back. Okay, and these are cooking away. It looks like we're probably making steam. Yep, it's starting to make bronze plates. Awesome. That's what I like to see. You can see our low-grade charcoal still kicking away. And you notice it's not running right now. What we need to do is take our wrench, right-click the top, because it needs a place to exhaust its steam. And then it's going to start running. There we go. Then we give it just a second. Yeah, it looks like those haven't moved enough steam in for it to run. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in the brass. There we go. Once these things heat up, they'll produce more steam, though, of course. So, Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to attach a Whopper here and a Whopper, or actually maybe behind it. So Whopper there, that, and then we'll put our little chests there and there. Okay, so I can add combustibles into those chests and it should keep that filled up. Okay, there's our brass and our bronze. Let's go ahead and warp back home now. And I'm going to grab a little bit more of that low-grade charcoal. And I'm not sure how we're going to... I'm not sure how I want to keep this running. I don't know if I want to maybe shut it off. Let it like, peter out at the end of the day. Like, whenever I'm done on here, or what? Because I don't really have automatic... Once we get a wood farm, though, we'll probably start working towards maybe an Astral Sorcery wood farm here fairly soon. And that'll fix all of our issues, actually. So we'll just plan on that maybe in the next episode. That way we can automate low-grade charcoal and thus keep our steam running constantly, right? Okay, because it's kind of at the point now where we're going to start moving into a bit more automation of things. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a Macerator. Bronze hull. There we go. And my hammer just broke, which is wonderful. There we go. Steam Macerator. And let's go ahead and grab... okay, well, let's grab this copper. Let's warp on back. And now we can actually start mining with Silk Touch again, basically. Because the Macerator is going to yield us like 100% chance to double on things. And let's go ahead and right-click this, just so that we have the steam output facing upwards. Then if we throw in, say, the copper... That's going to start running. You can see the progress up here. And we should get back to crushed copper ore. Awesome. And then that crushed copper ore, then we can send it through and it can get pulverized again in the Macerator. And it'll make this. Though I don't think we're going to get a cobalt dust from it. I don't think, because there's no secondary slot. I could be wrong on that. But I think you actually have to get the basic Macerator to get the secondary chance, I think. Wow, this low-grade charcoal lasts for a while. But okay, so if we take and throw that in there, you can see it's pumping that low-grade charcoal in. Throw that into there, it's pumping that low-grade charcoal in. And it's starting to back up on steam, actually, which is good. So we are producing excess steam. And then what we can do is... Let's see. I'm not sure how I want to handle the items coming out of this at the moment. I mean, I could do one of these like flat transfer nodes, which take a hopper, which really isn't that bad. We might make ourselves a flat transfer node for now, so that everything that gets macerated... Though really I should make like a little assembly line. So maybe the stuff gets, well, we'll start with just the Macerator and then we'll change things up later. Because I don't have the materials at the moment to process everything. Like, because what I would like to do is, say, it gets pulverized and it becomes crushed copper ore. That gets pulverized again and makes the impure pile, or forge hammered. But I think this would be better. And then that impure pile... I guess it would just get smelted. I mean, if we had a centrifuge, we could get a little bit more out of it. But, I mean, I could set it up so it drops into a cauldron, and that cauldron gets filled by dispensers. I mean, that would work. Or the ever-full urns. But is it really worth it? I don't think so, because the copper dust would then still just get smelted. So probably what I would do is... Because then we can make the alloy smelter to make our bronze. Which is not that bad, actually. Not all that expensive. So we'll probably make a steam alloy smelter. But yeah, I think I'm going to make another pulverizer and some transfer nodes. And I also need a furnace. This one right here, the steam furnace, because we're going to need to smelt the stuff coming out of that. Yeah, we're going to make like a little assembly line for now, which should work. But let's see, for right now, I'm just going to get the transfer node. That way I can get that stuff running. So I'm going to have to make a hopper, That's fine. And then I'm going to have to go do a bit of mining because I don't really have much in the way of a lot of these materials at the moment to make more bronze. Okay, these are still kicking away. They're backing up on steam. Let's go ahead and throw in a few of these. And we're going to need altogether... I'm going to have to make the glass cutter, which is also this. Oh, I guess if you don't have ender pearls, you could do that. But we've got ender pearls, so I'm not too worried about that. I need one more craft of this. Let's go ahead and pull those out. There we go. And let me see something here. The chests. Isn't there a bronze chest? Beautiful. Okay, because I might make some of those. But anyways, we need to get the... Let's see, the transfer. We'll go ahead and get the hopper. There we go. We got a quest completed. And then we'll get the glass cutter. And then we'll grab one of our ender pearls. And get our ender shards. And then, okay, I need the stone slabs. And 2 pieces of redstone. I did go and get a little bit of tin, but... Okay, there's flat transfer nodes. And we got a quest complete. And then what we're going to do is, let's see, that bronze that's over here. Let me grab this. And let me go ahead and grab, let's grab the gold ore and the malachite and the iron ore. Let's grab all this stuff. And for right now, this is going to get moved later on. But for right now, we're going to put the transfer node down right there. And I'm going to need 8. Go ahead and get those running. 8 of the bronze ingots. Then I'm going to go ahead and throw in like the gold ore into the macerator so it can start macerating. And we're going to get, I don't think we're going to get the stone dust, the copper dust, and the crushed gold from doing this. But that's fine. Not too worried about that. And I guess really I should just go ahead and make as much bronze ingots as we can get because we're going to need them. But let's go ahead and get ourselves a bronze chest. Quest completed. And if we were to put this right here, you could see it starts sending the items into this. So the crushed gold ore that we're producing, it gets dumped into there. Awesome. And then what I can do is I could set up a Whopper. Just like, well, I can't really put it on top because we've got the steam output there, but I could put it like maybe in the front. That would work. And we could start dumping items into there from like a chest. So let's go ahead and just set this up right there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this other stuff, like the, for example, well, I've got all this cassiterite. We're going to run this because basically we're going to have to send this through a pulverizer to get our dust, or a forge hammer works as well. This takes 1 second. This takes 5 seconds. And we're not going to get the secondaries, I don't think, with this. So what I may do is just use a forge hammer for now. But for actually breaking this stuff down, we're going to make another forge hammer. So we'll have a forge, basically, let me go ahead and just warp home. What we'll do is we'll have like a Whopper. I'd having to set this right here, but yeah, can't be helped. Whopper setting there, chest, and this will be like our input stuff, so we can throw in like iron, and it gets pumped into here and it starts breaking it down. We'll go ahead and throw in that malachite. Of course, malachite, whenever it gets broken down, it's going to be one of those that makes 10 malachite ore, and then if we, we smelt this, we get a bunch of nuggets. It's not great, but that's okay. We're just going to make that. Yeah, so we get a little bit better output if we do it this way. It's not much. It's like 1 nugget more, but it's still more. But what we're going to do is we're going to have Macerator feeds into forge hammer that's going to break all this stuff down, and then we're going to smelt it. So eventually we'll get better ore processing, but for right now this will work fairly well for us because we don't have a centrifuge at the moment. So, and I think malachite dust, yeah, it's impure and pure is going to still give us just 1. So I don't think it's really worth us dropping it into a cauldron at the moment. So Later on, we'll get like this kind of stuff, which is good. But right now, we're still in piddly podunk steam power. So, but yeah, so that's what we'll do. Macerator, forge hammer, a steam smelter, and then pump it out, you know. And that should be good for us. And I'm going to go ahead and drop some more ingots in here so we can get that stuff running. I hate the idea of having to make another forge hammer, but it's going to be necessary. But I think before we move on to the LV stuff, I think the LV stuff's going to require that we start getting into some steel. It is. So before we move to LV, we are going to really expand on the steam. I'm going to leave this set up like long term. It's still going to, this room is still going to be steam power set up. And we're probably going to have a bunch of all the different machines. So I don't mind spending a lot of materials, even though we're going to replace it as soon as we hit LV. I don't really care. We're going to have a lot of steam machines in here. So bronze really isn't that expensive, especially now that we have this. And, oh, once we get the alloy smelter, it's going to be even easier. Let's take a look at that real quick. I'd like to get the alloy smelter this episode for sure. So, this, okay. And then I think after we get the alloy smelter set up, we'll probably end out the episode here. But honestly, I think next episode we're probably going to get maybe a tree farm up and going, because that would really help us out a lot. Or at least we're going to start looking towards one, most likely. So, we'll see. At this point, it's so much easier to make stuff. It really, really is. Because my plates are just, they're cheap enough that, you know, they feel a lot cheaper. Especially when making a lot of stuff. And, yeah. And just now I'm starting to get machines, which is so good. This is when life starts to get a little bit better. Once you hit Steam, I think. Because then really you can just expand out and it's not all a headache. So, and I promise I am going to be, between episodes, I'm going to be working on storage area a bit. And some aspects of sorting things out, which is going to be super useful for us. There's that. And there is the alloy smelter. We're going to make a few of these though. So, and I think right now the only machines that we haven't made that are on here are the compressor and the extractor. Okay, so the alloy smelter. Oh yeah, I've got to make, I can make that here though. Got to make some more pipes real quick. We'll drop that right there. I don't know why I was so worried about picking that up. Right click there. And then we're going to need our pipe. There we go. And then we can just connect this right there. That's going to get steam. And then what we can do is we can take, like, say, copper and tin. We can throw that in there, and it's going to start running those together and making our bronze for us. So now we don't have to do it the old-fashioned way. We can do it a little bit easier. So there's 4 bronze. And it's still the same ratios. You know, it's 3 copper, 1 tin. It's going to give us 4 bronze. And there we go. Look at all that malachite that's been ran through. And I'm going to go ahead and dump this stuff into there. Awesome. Okay. Life's getting a whole lot easier now. It really, really is. So I really need to get everything moved over here, because we're going to be in this area, except for like whenever we're making food and stuff, which I actually forgot to make our food for this episode. I'll edit the footage, see where we're at on time. We may not get a food edit set up this episode. I totally forgot about it. I was so ready. I was so pumped to get into Steam that I just kind of like hit the ground running. So sorry. Yeah, let me get some footage edited, and like I said, I'm gonna try to get another forge hammer and a smelter. This right here, not all that expensive at this point. So that was a quest, wasn't it? No, it was the extractor and the compressor that are quests. Okay. Well, anyways, I'll be back here in just a bit. Okay, I got the machines crafted, so let's go ahead and set this up. Actually, I'm gonna need some bronze pipes. I can craft those in just a second though. So we're going to set up a forge hammer right there. And we'll go ahead and right click right there. And then we're going to have a transfer node on that. And that's going to feed into a steam furnace, which of course is going to have a pipe there. Let me make another pipe. There we go. This has been a whole lot easier. I've made so much bronze making all this, but It's actually fairly quick. Once you hit this point, like bronze and stuff's pretty cheap. So steam furnace goes there, and then one last transfer node that feeds now into a bronze chest. And I mean, this stuff is going to change as time goes on, but for right now, this will be good for our needs. This will be very, very good. So I'm not for sure if I have to move the Everfull urns back, I will, but I'm not for sure if they're going to reach up this far or not. They seem more concerned with feeding water into this, honestly. So let's go ahead and set that. And then I'm going to need to feed items into this for a little while. Okay, I'm just going to grab one of these chests then. Just temporary. We'll just set that up right there. And then what we can do is we can take all these little bits and bobs like the crushed cassiterite. I'm not sure how topaz is going to work out with it. If I don't need topaz, I'm actually thinking about maybe like some of these gems and stuff just waiting for now on them, because I don't think I'm going to need them at the moment. And see, I'm not going to be able to process them the normal way because I can't just smelt that impure. I mean, I've got to get a centrifuge, or yeah, I think I'll need a centrifuge, because we're going to take the crush, the impure, then we'll get the topaz dust, and then you send it through an autoclave, right? Or a electrolyzer, implosion compressor. Yeah, that's going to be processed very, very different. So yeah, I think topaz and stuff like that. This setup is mainly going to be for like copper, gold, iron. But we'll throw this in there and we'll get that running. And there we go. You can see it's smelting that stuff, or it's forge hammering that, and then it's sending it into the steam furnace. The steam furnace is then smelting that down and making our nuggets. The nuggets are going into here. And then we can take these nuggets and we can combine these and make ingots. Okay, so anyways, I think it's about wrapping up point for this episode. We got quite a bit done. Next episode, we'll probably start looking maybe at doing some automation for the steam side of things. I'd like to get, maybe some charcoal automated, or I'm not sure how far down the line it's going to be to make like ritual stones, because we could always automate through this, but I imagine, yeah, these are made in the mixer. Okay, so it's going to be a little while before we can make blank slates, so we're just going to put that away for now. But yeah, we might look at I don't know, some automation. I think the tree beacon is probably within our means. Yes, it's very much in our means at the moment. So we may set one of those up, and that way we can get a tree farm going, and then we can process that wood into charcoal, and then get the charcoal sent here, through like a conveyor system. That might be something that we do next episode, or start working on next episode. Because once we get constant charcoal being fed into this, and have steam just running 24/7, then we can start expanding, adding more steam boilers, and really expand this room out, and then maybe start moving to steel and the better machines. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out. And we didn't get a food done this episode. We'll get a food done at the start of next episode, I promise. Sorry about that. But anyways, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.